Warning, the following workplace horror stories are true. Names of individuals and companies, employees and employers have been changed to protect all involved. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone and welcome to Just Be Glad You Have a Job. My name is Johnny Dunn.
And I am Damon Rico. Have you ever driven into work and beat the hell out of your steering wheel just so you could get a release before you walked in?
Have you ever got on your hands and knees and begged your boss to fire you and were upset when they didn't?
Have you ever wished your boss would catch their spouse fucking their child and die in a DUI accident out of grief?
Have you ever wanted to send your boss a DVD of their daughter in a gangbang?
Have you ever wanted to lunge over the desk and strangle the person next to you with a mouse cable?
If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then this is the show for you.
We are here to deliver true accounts of workplace horror stories from subscribers just like you.
There are many reasons we do this: to give you a laugh, to give you a release,
But above all else, to show you that if you've had enough, you are not alone.
A few years back while in college, I worked for a heavyset woman named Gertrude in a restaurant as both a janitor and a short-order cook. Suffice to say, I had to wash my hands a lot. Gertrude ran this place with an iron fist, but I was part-time while I was going to school. The job afforded me a lot of flexibility with that, so I was in no position to complain. All I tried to do was keep my head down, do what I was supposed to do, and go home. This restaurant was a deli, but it had a bakery section in it, so therefore parties and holidays were particularly profitable enterprises, especially Christmas time. Every Christmas break, when I'd get off from school, I jumped at the opportunity of working late and working on weekends. It meant that I didn't actually get a Christmas break per se, but it was a fat paycheck, and I could use the money to pay some bills, buy some presents for some friends, and have something to fuck around with. One Christmas break, I ended up pulling 60 hours before Saturday rolled around, and this was a particularly rough week. Everybody was on edge because Gertrude was acting like Gordon Ramsay on a methamphetamine bender. I was at wit's end, but it was okay the moment I received my paycheck. Then, I had to open it. I was only getting paid for 27 of the 60 hours I worked. Are ya fucking kidding me? I went to Gertrude to ask for an explanation of the situation. I told her what my dilemma was, and she advised me that I should go upstairs and talk to the accounting department on the second floor. I went up to the accounting department to talk to them, and they told me I needed to go talk to Gertrude. I told them I just spoke to her, and she told me to come talk to you. The accounting department simply shrugged and said, I don't know what to tell you. To which I responded, I know what to tell you. If I don't get paid the other 33 hours that you people owe me, I'm going to dip my nuts in the mayonnaise on every third sandwich. They did not approve of this, but I was pissed, and I ended up going back to work to try to finish my shift up, figure out what to do next. I went to go get my time card to see if I couldn't prove my point to either one of them, and strangely enough, it had vanished without a trace. At this point, it became clear that I was going to get fucked out of those 33 hours. At this point, someone I knew from high school came in, and she was a weapons-grade cunt in high school, and she had a lawyer daddy who worked in a lot of frivolous lawsuits. At this point, I figured, fuck it, this is a sign that it's time to go find another job. So I proceeded to dip my nuts in the mayonnaise for her sandwich, and she was none the wiser. The next day, I no-showed. No phone call, no calling in sick, no nothing. When they called me up to ask why I didn't show up for my shift, I told them because I fucking quit. That's why. You owe me 33 hours and you refuse to pay me, so therefore I'm not going to show up. I'm going to find another job, and if you ever call again, I'm going to call a lawyer of a former customer yesterday and tell them how an employee dipped their nuts in his daughter's bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. At this point, it wasn't even about the money. It was about the principle. I showed up and bust my ass for 60 hours. Pay me what I earn. It's not a difficult equation at all to understand. Now, 5 things that Gertrude can do to redeem herself in the eyes of the Just Be Glad You Have a Job audience. Number 1, bring the submitter back to work for one day so that he can stale ale her bacon, lettuce, and tomato and pay him 41 hours as opposed to the 8 he would normally earn. Number 2, roll around in flour naked until you find the wet spot, then proceed to fuck it with a cactus. Number 3, ditch the flour, bring in the submitter, have him pull back folds of skin until he smells shit, then go backwards 1 and kick you in the cunt so hard that he breaks a bone in his foot. Number 2, allow 33 STD victims to forcibly sodomize you while on the job in front of your workforce. And the number 1 thing that you can do to redeem yourself in the eyes of the Just Be Glad You Have a Job audience is lock yourself in the freezer with a king cobra and wiggle your naked fat tits at it until it strikes and you die of necrosis in a horrible blood, bile, and shit-filled death next to the sliced roast beef that closely resembles your vagina. Those are the top 5 ways you can redeem yourself in the eyes of the Just Be Glad You Have a Job audience, you fat fucking Alabama thunder pussy. Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Just Be Glad You Have a Job. We hope that you have enjoyed watching it as much as we have enjoyed making it. And as always, please remember that if you watch a horribly violent slasher film and think to yourself, I would love to do that to all of my former employers, send us your resume, and when Creative has a paid position open up, we'll keep you in mind. Have a good week!